Where in the world is Polska Bob? I bet he's at the bar. When maybe he'll chime in. We'll put him on drinking vodka.
The divorce is final. It's been final for a few months now.
Okay.
But just residual, like dividing up
Pain. Yeah.
assets, things like this.
Yeah. Your audio's, I think, a little low, but I'm going to leave it. Caption, baby.
It just keeps the thing open. It keeps the tension alive still, for me. Married, divorced. I was a married person, now I'm divorced.
I know it's tough, man, but hey, it's probably going to be okay.
Divorce that I never wanted, nor thought was a good idea. But it doesn't matter. Like once it starts.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. That's the beauty of this no-fault divorce business, see? No matter what, she still gets cash and prizes. Yeah, well, that's real fair, isn't it?
You have to keep writing it out. And then you're never really divorced.
Morning, everyone. Chris Mitchell, he's out drinking, Mohamed is here. Hello.
Because there's...
About to close and go had a full day. All right, well, good. Hey, good for you.
You have a child together. And so you have to navigate co-parenting as best you can.
Well, being a child of divorced parents, it sucks. It absolutely freaking blows. It's just not good.
And it's not clean.
No, it sucks for the kids. Trust me. I was there.
To say the least.
Yeah. And, of course, I'm divorced as well. So. I'm sure Jennifer... Oops. I'm sure that person whose name I just didn't mention, I'm sure she probably thought it sucked too, because it's not good. It really isn't.
But all that stuff into consideration, with more and more time going by, you have to realize, like, okay, again, squaring with the fact that you're part of the problem.
Okay.
You weren't part of the solution. Personally, even though I never thought it was a good idea, and I thought things could be worked out.
Doesn't matter though. It's a shame. Is what it is.
You have to kind of come to a point where you acknowledge, like, okay, I had a part to play in this. I did this too.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's usually not a one-sided thing. I mean, some of you guys. Oh, she's a blah, and a garden tool, and a 304. Well, I mean, men aren't freaking all sunshine and roses either. I mean, let's be honest. There might be something there, but yeah, I mean, it's no-fault divorce is not good.
So,
but I mean, it's obviously the intention was, because I think at one point you actually had to have some reason. Like he was abusive or he was an alcoholic or she blah, 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 cheated, whatever, right? And that was all removed in the, early 70s, I think? So you didn't have to have irreconcilable differences.
You think you're about through the woods,
And then to get the kids to say you're abusive. We know. No, the game.
Something comes up or a memory happens or somebody, I don't know. You get it.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, I'm with you. Yeah.
And then it's like, oh man, yeah.
I should have done something different, right? Still
healing, which is of course fine, grieving the loss of a marriage and things like this. These are good things, it's a good thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's tough.
It's not a bad thing.
I mean, it's bad enough when you break up with a girl, right? But get divorced. Ooh,
it just takes time, and that's fine.
Yeah, it does. And there's plenty of guys here on the internet that'll do what we can to support you.
But anyway, that's part of the healing process too. Just, you can blame all you want.
Who filed?
But you have to know you are part of the problem.
What do you guys think? Is he just, what's he doing here? Coping? Polska Bob's probably drinking. Chris Mitchell's been planned out long before you give it an hint. Yep, absolutely. And I mean, I hate to say it, not all women are like that. I understand, but a lot of times there's something already lined up. Just saying, Yeah. Chris, of course he's out drinking. MGTOW Cowboys here. Hello. A little clickbait there on the title, but what the heck? Riggs is here, spreading his like an old bird feeder. There you go. All righty. One Fast Dak is also here. Hello. Yeah, we had that. I thought it was a really good conversation we had last night or whatever. I think it was last night. What the hell is it? It's Saturday, right? I think it's Saturday. Yeah, I think it's Saturday or Sunday now, actually. In the Central Time Zone in the United States. It is after midnight. Ooh. Nothing after midnight is ever good. Well, maybe a live stream. What the hell? Drinking? No, I'm not. No, thank you. Water. I had some beers earlier and just not in the mood. Drinking and repinning a wire harness for the old Silverado. Anyway, yeah, Fastag. What happened was apparently I flashed a little bit too much at Tom Petty, and YouTube banned it worldwide because of copyright. So I should know better, but you get a little crazy, the Tom Petty.
And you're going to fix you. Like you're the person, your ex. They're not coming back. They don't want to help you. They don't want to see your life get better. They don't want to.
No, they don't care. Once the big D hits, I mean that's it. Done.
You improve. They don't care if you recover. I mean, this is just true. This is just true, right?
Yeah, that's more black pill actually than red pill. Okay.
So you are responsible for moving on and fixing your own stuff.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And after the pain and the hurt, it obviously there was something going on there that wasn't good, and you or whoever hit the eject button. Okay, now you just have to move on with your life. I mean, maybe it just wasn't meant to be. It happens.
And the responsibility for that is squarely on your own shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right, and that's a good thing. But how a lot of men right now are getting over a divorce or a long-term relationship. Typically, again, 8 times out of 10, divorces is filed by the woman.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Benjamin Dinajin. That's who this guy is. Let me put the link in. I was just poking around on the internet. Yeah, here's the link. MGTOW Cowboys says, my money is Polska Bob's at South Pulaski having a beer and vodka. Chris Mitchell, I was wondering what happened. Yeah, it happens, I mean, I totally understand, right? I mean, Tom Petty's estate, the poor guy passed away. But I mean, he created the music and he should be paid for it. But where I vary a little bit is that I'm not trying to make money using Tom Petty's music. It was incidental, I wasn't trying to make money, but okay, whatever. It's their stuff. I get it. Chris Mitchell, losing a wife might suck, but it's not a big deal. Having your kids stolen. Yes. Yeah. The kids, the kids are where that's really the worst part of it. Visit mom, on Thanksgiving and dad on Christmas, blah, blah, in the summer. And sucks. It does. It'd be better if it didn't happen, but unfortunately, these things do happen.
Not the man. The man never wanted it. The divorce in the first place. Very, very, very common. They are turning to the red pill community or MGTOW community, right?
The MGTOWs, yes.
So let's go through these really quick. The difference between like red pill community, MGTOW community, okay?
Okay, well, the community thing. Okay, fine, community, whatever.
And they bleed together a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, red pill community. No one's going to introduce you to the red pill community like a woman.
Oh, boy, you ain't kidding there, brother. You ain't kidding.
In fact, that's how you're going to become a red pill male.
Yeah. Hopefully, prior, right? Let's see. What's Riggs say? Polska's dropping like it's. He's whapping all over that bar in Chicago. He's dripping with anticipation and something.
Again,
And vodka,
it's a reference to that movie, the Matrix movie.
Oh, by the way, did you hear that the federal court blocked the milkshake mandate? Yep. Days after I get the happy juice. Maybe I wouldn't have had to. Oh, God.
Right. You take the blue pill, you stay in the world that you're in. If you take the red pill, your eyes are kind of opened and you see the world for what it is. Right.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. It is the world, right? I might get to this propaganda piece from CNN. You want to do that one? Oh, my God. It was ridiculous. The unbelievable propaganda and the association with pictures and words. Just what the, I mean, we'll get there.
Right. So,
but it is about the whole world, right? It's not just women. Women's obviously a big part of men's worlds. Of course, the government, the media, Hollywood, mainstream, CNN. So it's almost unbelievable. And it's one of those things you cannot unsee it once you see it. It's insane. I was watching a news story about that particular milkshake thing that they were just talking about. That the clickbait headline and the title was that federal court overrules blah 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 or puts a stay on the thing, right? No milkshake mandate. And that was the first 10 seconds of the news story. The rest of it was talking about Aaron Rodgers and kids getting the food. And this is CBS. It's like, what the hell is what? You barely even mentioned the actual story that you're titled. It was insane.
Red pill community, a woman's going to introduce you to it.
Yep.
Should you go red pill? Yes.
Can you hear him okay? Is he loud enough? I can hear him in my headphones, but it's kind of hard to determine unless I go to the channel and listen to it.
Should you stay there? Yes, as a red pill male.
You can't ever go back, though. That's the trick. When you start seeing the bullshit, like you watch the CNN hit piece on the RP and how they try to tie it to the KKK, for God's sake. What?
Because the problem with red pill is once you take the pill,
no going back.
It's not an actual pill, right? It's just a frame of mind.
Yes.
Once you understand the red pill community, you can't unknow it.
Boom. Bingo. And that's where this hit piece from CNN is absolutely, it's almost unbelievable. This is 4 years ago. And they have some anonymous, we'll get there. We'll get there. What the F? Hey, JR, good to see you. Can you play today's Sandman video? It's about you. Oh, shit. Well, I might do that. It's about you, huh? He says, hey. Thing is about Sandman, though, is I just don't like his voice. I'm sorry. We'll try it, maybe.
And that's kind of sucks, actually.
Well, not really.
A woman will get you to the red pill, but they shouldn't be the reason why you stay red pilled. And here's what I mean by red pill. In short.
Go ahead.
Versus MGTOW. Mm-hmm. So red pill community is a lot of men have put the pieces together, partly thanks to the internet, where they're all saying the same story.
Well, they're sharing stories, yeah.
They're all saying the same thing.
Maybe they've just experienced the same thing, especially when it comes to divorce and shit like that. Yeah.
They're saying, look, I was in this relationship. I was married. I was happily married. Maybe we were having a struggle. We were trying to figure things out, but I never thought it ended in divorce, right?
Yeah, and then you really find out who that person really is when you face them in divorce court.
And then the wife divorces, which is one thing. But then it's everything else that happens with the divorce.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
I
mean, you believe... I can't really tell you about mine, but imagine, arguing over who gets the certain set of dishes and shit like that. It's like, oh my God. I mean, come on, this is not important. Take it.
Oftentimes, and no one can tell me different than this because I'm in the middle of it right now. Yeah. You lose your house, you lose your money, you lose your children, you lose your name, Some of us, all the way down to your damn dog. You even lost your dog.
Mm-hmm. It's not pretty. It's not good.
Right? So,
first mistake, though, sir, Benjamin, what's your name? Benjamin? First mistake, Benjamin, is you got married. That's where the Miggy toes come in.
Men are putting these pieces together and saying, yeah, I went through a divorce, but it wasn't like the divorce. You can understand that over time. It was like everything else that came with it. Why? I was never a bad father. Why did I lose my children? Why?
Because of the patriarchy. See,
why am I suspect?
That's what the fembots will tell you. Well, it's the patriarchy. It's women are better mothers.
Why am I treated like a child rapist?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
To see my own kids. They're my children. Why can't I see them? Why can't I have this time with them? Why do I have to pay lawyers thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that I don't have to just get a chance to even be a father?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unfortunately, a common thing.
Why? And this is what men don't leave your house. If the divorce is coming, and you know it's coming, or she's filed, do not leave your home. You will be homeless living in your car. Ask me how I know.
Remember, guys, women are the ones who are oppressed in this country. Keep that in mind, everyone. Snot Rag is here. Hello. Yeah, Chris Mitchell. Yeah, Terrence Pop. Yes. Sandman features me. I'm famous, so I didn't know. Yeah, no, I think it was this MGTOW Cowboy was he was featured in Sandman. Riggs Jr., when I broke up with the last crazy slot C, my dog was take it out on the dog. What does a dog have to do with anything? Almighty.
You want to be the nice guy.
Didn't she wreck his car too or something? Just what a mess.
You're hoping she changes her mind. So it's like, okay, here, you stay here. And I'll figure something out, please I beg you. And then you end up being homeless.
Yeah, they just don't care. As somebody in the comments said, Benjamin, she's already made up her mind far in advance from when she files. She's already got all this figured out. She's got it figured out already. It's not a snap decision usually, right?
Until you get back.
There's thought put into it.
Yep. Why do I have to pay all the bills for a person that no longer wants to be in a relationship with me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a very good question. Strong, independent, you go girl, right? Not when you get divorced, however. That old patriarchy comes up and says, you know what? You got to pay her alimony, you evil man. I mean, what a bunch of bullshit. Child sport, I understand. They're your kids. You got to take care of them. But alimony? The fuck? Get out of here.
Why do I have to pay their bills? They left the relationship.
Mm-hmm. It's called no-fault divorce. She gets cash and prizes, my friend. No matter what.
So it's these kind of abuses that happen to men that are not talked about.
Well, certainly not in the mainstream. That's true.
That are very brutal.
Because, men are geez. Milkshake. Excuse me. Wow. Go on.
And this is why men go red pill. They start wanting to understand, like, why did this happen? Why did it happen this way? And this is because it's called gynocentric social order. Gynocentric social order. Right?
Boy, this guy, he caught up quick, didn't he? Holy crap.
And that's just opening your eyes to seeing, like, divorces are in favor of women.
Yeah. And the entire government thinks it's a great idea. Give it all to the women. Mercolium. Yeah, sorry about that. I was just toking on my vapor thing, and it kind of caught me funny. U.S. James Van the Maxwell. I know, totally out of character for him. Okay. For who? I'm sorry.
It's a contract where the woman is rewarded for breaking the contract.
Yep. Again, your first mistake, Benjamin, getting married.
Why is that? Well, society protects women and children first. That's the way it is, and actually, hopefully, that's the way it always is. You know, it's
the evil patriarchy. We do things in this society for the benefit of man, don't you know?
It's good for our society to protect women and children, and that's the way men are taught, and that's the way we're raised.
It's in our DNA, really. It really is. It's just evolution, or God. Believe whatever you want. Allah. Just the way it is.
And that's who we are. And the core of our being is we want to protect women and children, whether it's physically or monetarily or provisionally, things like this. We're wired to do that.
Yeah, but if you're out of the relationship with said female, why in the world should you have to keep paying her? That's ridiculous.
It's the Titanic story. Women and children first. You know, if the ship is sinking, we got to protect the women and the children.
Hey, wait, just hold a minute. Okay, there's Jack and there's the redhead. There was plenty of room on that damn raft, and she let Jack drown. There was plenty of room there. He could have jumped up, and well, I suppose it wouldn't have been such a good, interesting ending, right? It's crying. Look at old poor Jack. He's freezing to death, and then wham and wins or lives.
And then
Kate, what's her name? Kate Winslet.
Die.
Oh yeah.
Right. It's the same thing in divorce court, going through divorce court mafia.
Yeah.
Women and children first.
It's what's best for the children, isn't it? It's always that.
I can partly understand that. Again, that's how society got where it's at. Men fight, men die to protect women and children. That's just what men do.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, there's a biological thing for that, right? Yeah. 9 women can't make a baby in a month kind of thing, right? You can have one woman and 1 million guys, and you can only have one baby every 9 months, right? So there's that.
In many different ways, not necessarily in war, although that's highly probable. It's what we do. Men sacrifice themselves for women and children.
And sometimes the government tells us we should do that. It's called the draft. What? You're evil. What do you mean women don't have to sign up for the draft?
Women know that. Society's gynocentric social order.
But why does he keep saying this? We all know we live in an evil patriarchy, don't we? Don't we? Yeah, I don't know. In the real Titanic, is that what happened? More women than were saved than the kids? I don't know. It was a horrible situation, certainly. But yeah. Lifeboats full of women and kids, and the men drowned.
And so they know that, again, I think I did one video on this briefly. They know they'll be protected.
Yeah. Yes. Protected from their own selves. That's the biggest problem. No matter what they do, the government is there. We got to protect them women's, no matter how stupid they act. There shall be no consequences for the women.
They'll be kept safe.
See, that's where I'm thinking it goes a little bit too far, don't you? I do.
This isn't a bash. I know it sounds really bad and be mean or.
No, you're not. You're just being truthful here. That's absolutely true. Society has determined that women are more important than men.
Judgmental of women. I'm not trying to be, but once you see it, you can't unsee it.
That's right. It's not a slam. You see, that's where the misinterpretation of the fembots or some women, when you bring this stuff, oh my God, you must hate women. Who hurt you? No, it's objective reality. Look around. You can see it everywhere, right? We get a new gynocentric gender equality plan from Biden to help more women get into college when they're already outnumbering men 3-2. Where's the plan for men to get in? No. See, men are all privileged, see? Especially you evil whiteys.
So you realize, like, oh, shoot, divorce is coming down the pipe. Okay, here it comes. You're going to lose, highly probably, you're going to lose everything.
Yep. It might be more palatable it still sucks. I mean, getting divorced is terrible for everyone, especially the kids. Excuse me, I got a cough here. Let me mute myself. Oh yeah, much better, much better. All right.
And that's because of gynocentric social order. Society
Yeah, I get this like frog in my throat.
protects women and her children.
Oh, I did get the magic happy juice, and it didn't bother me. Your arm gets sore though. It's like a tetanus shot. You get that sore muscle. That's about it. Nothing more.
Even though
we'll find out in 20 years.
Fathers,
yeah, I know.
Oftentimes are great fathers. Maybe they were questionable husbands, highly probable, but that never meant they were bad dads, right? And so men are finding themselves having to fight these battles to see their kids being drugged through court.
Yep. You're presumed to be the bad guy.
So on and so forth.
Automatically. Evidence? We don't need no stinging evidence.
And so just seeing the gynocentric social order, and I'll do a video at some point soon about gynocentric social order in church.
Oh, God. Oh, geez. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, boy. Yeah. Church is for reformed garden tools.
I've experienced that very first.
Well, the so-called reformed garden tools.
And it's been shocking.
Jesus loves me. Why shouldn't you? Just because I used to be.
To me personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So red pill is just the awareness
that,
yes. And it goes into like just male female dynamics. I'm not talking about any of that right now, just specifically like divorce, right?
Yeah, and everything else too. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You just can't. You can't. I mean, it's just like learning a new thing in math. Once you learn calculus, it's like, how the hell did I ever live without this? Same thing. What do you mean calculus? What are you talking about that?
So just know that gynocentric social order is thing.
Once you know Euler's rule, you cannot forget it.
Society protects.
Sorry, just geeking out here a little.
Children, as it should. Unfortunately, the laws haven't caught up with equality in divorce court yet, right?
Oh no, and they won't ever. By the way, nope. Never gonna happen. Why is that? Because any politician would be flayed alive if he or she ever brought something like that up. Hey, maybe we should make this more. Oh my God. No, not going to happen.
MGTOW is different though. MGTOW, men going their own way. It's an acronym, men going their own way, where men have just opted out and completely refused to marry or remarry ever.
Yeah, just doing what you want with your own life. There's nothing wrong with that.
And I think it can get a little bit. They can go a little too far, I think.
Where's Hammerhand? Hammer, where are you? Is this man blue pilled? I haven't listened to the video, so. What? Oh, don't forget Undead Chronic. But go buy a T-shirt. Undead Chronic, 14. Look it up.
I think. Because once you get introduced to the red pill, it highly likely it's going to be because of a divorce, and you lose everything, and you lose your kids, and
and people wonder all the time, well, why is Kevin Samuels always talking about women if he doesn't want to be in? It's to warn men like you, young lad. Tell you what's going on, what possibly could happen. Not that it will, but it could, right?
You lose all your life savings and all this stuff. And you become red pilled, you understand the way things are. Your eyes are opened. And then if you're not careful and you don't handle the red pill well, it hurts. And so you can slip into what's called the red pill rage.
That's usually the first step, though, really. Once you start realizing this stuff, I think it's natural for people to just get pissed. Oh, my God. I never knew that. Why have people been lying to me my entire life? And you tend to get a little pissed. Yeah, absolutely. You mean Walter Cronkite was a communist? Wait a minute. I thought Walter Cronkite was, and that's the way it is. Yeah. You mean he lied? Yes.
Pill rage.
Yes.
And the red pill rage is like, okay, you just end up swearing off all women ever completely.
After all, the Tet Offensive, United States lost that, right? Remember that, Walter? Remember how you reported that when that wasn't true?
And a lot of men are only 1 in 1,000 male is remarrying.
Yeah. Why would you? Why do it in the first place? To have kids. Okay. I get it.
Because either they saw their daddies go through it, or
that's another thing that, those poor oppressed women, they can have children without getting married and really can't. Or not that easy.
They themselves have gone through it. Gynocentric social order, divorce court mafia.
And Big Daddy government's going to be there with big piles of cash for them single women. Single married mothers.
They have absolute lives and souls ripped away from them. I don't shy away from that.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard on men.
Yeah.
And it's like, suck it up, be a man. You know, you lost your kids. You can't hardly see your kids. You see your kids a few days a week. Whatever. You lost your house that you built with your own hands.
Yeah. Yep. That's the problem with divorce laws. Again, no matter what, she gets cash prizes and likely the kids. She cheats. She runs trains on the neighborhood while you're working your ass off doing something. Doesn't matter. She still gets cash and prizes. She could be the worst wife in the world. You file for divorce. She still gets cash and prizes and the kids. Most likely. It's bullshit is what it is, Benjamin.
So on and so forth.
Yeah.
And if you're not careful, the red pill turns into the red pill rage. And if you let the red pill rage go too far, I think you end up becoming MGTOW, men going their own way.
We got to get hammer. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Oh, Benjamin. Yeah. You see, you could look at it this way and any way, which way you want. Men are just doing what they want with their own lives. See, there's always been confirmed bachelors forever. It's just with the current societal situation with respect to divorce, with respect to cash and prizes, it's just becoming more of a thing to do, especially men who have been divorced. Why the hell would I get married again? Why? Because society tells me I should do that? No.
They're just completely opting out. Now, here's the thing. It's completely logical for men not to remarry.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that.
100%. Completely logical. No one should fault a man for not wanting to remarry.
No. Do what you want with your own life, just like the fembots have been beating their drum for decades. Women should be able to do what they want. Okay. Men have decided they don't want to get into a contract with the government. When that contract is broken, he loses no matter what. Yeah, not good.
After he's been through a brutal divorce.
Especially, aren't they all? Really?
The one that he didn't want, which is 8 times out of 10, the man didn't want the marriage to end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if you go MGTOW, I just think it's incredibly mean to women.
How is it mean to women to not want anything to do with them? Just do your own thing. How is that mean? It's not mean. It's just doing what you want with your life. Now, I'm sure there are some MGTOWs that are mean to women. They hate them and what. Okay, let's not lump everybody together, okay?
And
let's not do that.
That even just sounds.
Go ahead.
With men going their own way, a lot of those guys are refusing to remarry because they don't want to risk it again, and it's perfectly logical.
Yeah. Yes. I see nothing wrong in what you're saying right there. That's good. SCE is here. The fall of Kabul was far worse than the fall. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. Nothing like screwing our freaking allies again. Right? But no, it was fine. Just ask Joe Biden. Just a test. Lost my internet. You are here. One fast act. That offensive was a brief set. It was, but it wasn't the absolute annihilation that was reported. Oh, the United States are getting their asses kicked by the Vietnamese. Well, they did. But I think it's a fair statement to look in the past, 60 years ago, and say, we could have won that war. The politicians just didn't want to give the men fighting that war the tools necessary to win. Now, I'm not sure what, we could go talk about the politics all over the place. And I think you know where I might land on that. I think it was intentional. We didn't want communism to fail, even though eventually it did.
But then I think it goes a little bit too far into like hate of women, right?
There are some men, yeah.
And I'm not a big fan right now. I'm honest. But, and I probably will never remarry again. There's too much on the line. It's too risky.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But it's not only that. I mean, it's now that you're single again, you could be accused of a lot of things that didn't really happen. So you got to be careful.
Especially if you have kids again with somebody else. It's too much.
Oh, no. Don't do that.
You can't do it. You can't risk it. But I wouldn't say I've gone MGTOW, like where they're just completely opting out, almost of society in general as a whole.
There are some that are, yeah, sure. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with a man or a woman for that matter, who doesn't want to get married. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you don't have to hate women. I don't hate women. Women are cool. I like them. But you have to understand the playing field. If you're going to dabble in that area, you got to understand what the risks are, the stakes, etc. And marriage is a one-way contract, benefiting only the female. That's it.
But having a healthy dose of red pill awareness, I think, can take men a long way.
Yeah.
If you marry or remarry again, at least go in it with your eyes wide open.
Bingo.
The thing that nobody tells you is that when you sign a marriage paperwork, it's the most binding legal document you are ever going to sign.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not in control of it. The other person is.
Yes, the female. Yep, that's right.
And
the government.
The
Let's not forget those
file
idiots
for divorce, you're still going to lose your kids.
Yep.
You're going to lose your home. You're going to lose your income.
Yep.
And if she files, it's the same.
Yep.
So,
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She could be a crack garden tool out, slumming with whatever, making, be an escort. It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't matter. You still get hosed as the man. I mean, it's amazing to even contemplate this. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but it's just amazing. It's almost mind blowing that no matter what, she still gets cash and prizes. That's insane. What the hell? I just, oh my God. MGTOW cowboy. Yeah, I don't trust him. Yeah. All women have the ability to do these things. Not all women will, but they all have the option. That's just the way it is, And until such laws are changed, which is never going to happen, it's going to be the same. Maybe even get worse.
I don't know. That's probably not the most helpful video. But anyway, it's healthy for men to be red pill aware. It should be. Even if you're not married and you want to be married someday or in a long-term relationship, you need to know what the stakes are. You need to know about hypergamy. You need to know why you're not your woman's first choice. You need to know why she always has a backup plan. You're not the person she wanted. The person that she wanted, it didn't work out for some reason, and you were a plan B. You're
always a plan B. Oh, God. Isn't that terrible? So, Benjamin, go look at his channel, sub. I put the link in. I'll do it again. Let's see now. Who? MGTOW Cowboy. It was Sandman who did something for you. Let's go find Sandman. Here's the link to Benjamin's channel. Snot rag. I hate women. My mom even hates me. Well, hey, maybe that's a you thing. I don't know. Sandman. All right. Let's see. Sandman. So the new one's about you.
Hi, everyone. Sandman here. I'm getting a number of...
I'm sorry. I just don't like his voice. Jesse Lee Peterson, this one. All right.
All right, everyone. Sane Man here. This
Oh,
video
God, I hate his voice. I'm sorry, you guys.
Hey everyone, Sandman here.
was brought to you by a donation from Silver, and here's what he briefly has to say.
Is this the one, MGTOW Cowboy? Let's go. Before Sandman, can you play Red Pill Elite? Wait, what? He sounds like, oh, God, I know. What's Red Pill Elite up to? Red Pill Elite. Which one? Red Pill Elite. All right, sir. Red Pill Elite Experience. All right. Which one? Which one are we going to do? Which one? That's it. Which one? Which red pill? If you're not going to help me out here, I can't wait. Come on. Which video? No. All right. Guess I'll just. Here's one.
Good and fuck the life up.
Oh,
I didn't mean to say that. Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry. I'm being a nice guy. Hey, listen.
Mm.
If your
He's making vittles again. Yum.
ribs are not wrapped like this after the smoke, and they don't look like this, wrapped in butcher paper only,
Yep.
not fucking aluminum foil,
Oh, God, no.
you're wrong.
Mm-mm.
Now I'm doing this one-handed. Let's see what we got. One-handed shot. Whew.
Mm.
Now they need to do that too.
Oh, it's pretty
They
good.
need to look just like that. And you unwrap those, you unfold it. I know these are hot. I'm supposed to let them rest, but I gotta go night night. Oh,
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 baby.
oh.
Oh, baby. Oh.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Oh, damn. That's what I'm talking about. What is that? Those are beef ribs, I think, right? Have you noticed what's happening 2 days ago? Okay. 3 or 4 days. All right. Those ribs look good, though. Thank you, kind sir, for sharing that. Oofda. Have you noticed what is happening?
I
Red
need
Pill
to put
Elite.
this out there because it needs to be said.
Okay.
Men at a rapid rate are starting to realize what they see out here is real. And a lot of them, without even realizing which side they're gravitating on, are more so gravitating towards the MGTOW side. So let me explain a little bit.
Okay, sir.
I'm making this video because I don't want people to get sidetracked from why we are here. There is a reason why we've gotten to where we have gotten to right now. There is 2 things you should consider. You're either red pill or blue pill. There is no in between. To the red pill side of it, there is a subculture called MGTOW, men going their own way, and men, without even knowing that they're doing it, are actually starting to gravitate more towards that side of the fence.
Doing what you want with your own life. Yeah.
I have also done the same thing, and you know, I try to teeter the fence and look at both sides of the red pill and MGTOW portion of it. But I also, I just find it's easier to live more towards the MGTOW side. And
I mean, I just, I mean, it's just like, whatever, right? Do what you want with your own life.
Right.
I mean, it's just simple.
Women can feel that we have applied a significant amount of pressure to them. Without, they won't admit it, but they know it's real. That's why you're starting to see an influx of the videos all over the place. Women are subconsciously freaking out about it because they know that they're in trouble.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Yep. They wanted it. Now they got it. Now they're scared. Well, what do you mean men aren't going to marry us anymore? What? Yeah.
To some degree.
I mean, that's what they wanted, isn't it? Want all that freedom, all that revolution stuff. Well, you got it. And now men are looking around and saying, you know what? I don't think so. No.
So instead of them trying to fix the issues that we're talking about, they're
Mr. Leeds, you would expect women to do anything? Come on. Come on.
they're running from it and just trying to backlash at us.
Oh, yeah. They're trying to call us terrorists and Triple K members with the white hoods and supporters of a certain political movement in the 1930s and 40s in Germany, etc. And so they have to demonize. That's their only tool. That's how women, that's their thing, right? That's the way they shame other women, right? And all this other, well, they're trying to use the same thing. And the problem here, though, the way I look at it, it's not just women. It's not just the fembots. It's the entire government. The entire government is on that side of the fence. And with the force of law, that's the scary part. And the only thing men can really do is opt out of the game until these rules are changed with respect to marriage, family court, divorce. No, not going to happen. And since they're never going to change the rules, you're going to see more and more men saying, nah, I don't think so. Nope, I don't want it.
This means that they know that they're losing, but they just haven't figured out how to make us fold yet.
Yep. Shame, branding us as terrorists, all these freaking mind games, all this bullshit. It's not going to work. I don't care. I am not a terrorist, but I'm not going to get married. Simple.
Which is why they are still resorting back to the old song and dance of twerking and shaking their ass and titties all over the place so men can, focus on that portion, their physical attributes instead of their mental, because their mental is not really, it's not ready to be dealt with.
Well, I mean, fortunately and unfortunately, men do think with the wrong head sometimes.
Haven't fixed.
You start shaking that whap around, it's like,
their issues.
I mean, I was looking at some TikTok videos or some crap today. And it's like, it's really hard to find a woman that isn't in some way attractive. You know what I mean? If you like the person, you can find something. Really difficult. And that's their magic, right? That's their power.
So what I've been seeing is now all of a sudden women are wanting to make men's right movement pages.
The chameleons.
Guys, you got to understand something. This is for men by men.
Yep.
We're doing this for us. We don't need them to do that. We need them to work on their issues.
Yep.
With their own.
The problem is they don't see them as issues, Mr. Lee. They're not issues. That's normal. All this is normal. Right? These kids that are, 18, 19, 20, they grew up, their parents grew up with, this is normal. Whapping it all over the place and stuff. Going to college, getting trains run on them by the football team, and then settling down with Farmer John, who never left the farm. It's normal. They don't know any other way. Oh, of course women should get kids in alimony. Right.
We don't need them to do that for us. Every time you let a woman into your circle, what happens? It never fails. They destroy it from the inside out.
Yep. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And that's all they're going to end up doing. We must stay vigilant, and we must not let them have any circle of that. None. Because if you do, you'll never see it again. Hold the line, please.
No, he's not wrong. He is not wrong. Let me link. Go ahead and like it. Paste. Boom. Bingo. Yes. Amen, brother. Maxwell. Testify. Yeah. The Taliban of the Manosphere. Yeah, I know. It's just such bullshit. Come on. They're trying to make us seem like we're some evil. It's just men not wanting to get married. You're evil. You're an incel. You hate women. No. If there's any hatred involved, it's the system. The system sucks when it comes to marriage, divorce, and all that other stuff. And for the college kids, the kangaroos, the courts, oh my God. SCE, Mr. Purple Pill himself, there's no such thing as purple. You're either blue pill or you're red pill in denial. Yeah. I mean, again, like Benjamin said earlier, once you see it, you can never unsee it. All right. Should we, Sandman? Do we have to? Which one of the Sandmans? Oh God, ugh. I do not like.
All right,
his
everyone.
voice.
Sane Man here. This video is brought to you by a
Ugh.
donation from Silver. And here's what he briefly has to say.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Sandman.
I know. Hey, look, Sandman's popular. You know, he puts out good quality content, but I just cannot stand the man's voice. So nothing
I'd
against
like you
him.
to do a
It's just-
video on the clown Jesse Lee Peterson. He's in a stream telling us what a real man does and doesn't.
Yeah, I saw this. This is what a real man does.
Please
Jesse Lee, what are
dismember
you
him
talking
with
about?
your acute observations and winning way with words.
Okay.
Well, Silver, thanks for the donation as well as the topic. I
Lower
put a
the
link in the
volume.
description to the
Yeah, that's a
half-hour
good
video
idea.
you sent me from Jesse Lee Peterson's
That's a
Odyssey
good
channel.
idea.
I think that Jesse Lee means well, but he's out of touch with reality. In the video, he takes a call from a
Okay. Well, then you can just hear me.
because
Okay, I'll turn
he
it.
saw how his father was wrecked with a divorce, and
Yeah.
Peterson just asks him what it feels like to be defeated, which is just a fancy way of calling him a coward. He also
That captioning isn't working here. I don't know what the.
says that men aren't supposed to give
We're,
up.
we're,
and
we're
that
gonna
men are
have to
supposed go
suck
their
it
own
up
way.
here because that caption.
To that, all I have to say is, okay, boomer. Jesse Lee is 72 years old, and the 37-year-old
Hey, I'm a boomer too. Yo.
calling him is half his age.
Mhm.
Lee is out of touch because of generational differences.
Yep. Yeah. It's just like, again, you know, Jordan Peterson is again this, and I don't dislike Jordan Peterson, but his advice on dating is complete dated bullshit. It is not what's happening today. It's not what's happening today in this country for the younger crowd. It is not the same as it was 40 years ago. It's only gotten worse. You trust me.
Instead of preaching
I was there.
his boomer ways, he should first pick up Strauss Howe's book called The Four
Well, I mean, you know, somebody, whoa, what do you mean hamster? Those girls were still getting run trains on, and it just wasn't so open. You know, it was kind of hidden a little bit. Now it's just the WAPs are everywhere. They're just out.
Fourth Turning.
The WAPs got loose.
Take the year 1929, for example.
Yeah.
There were 4 different generations alive at that time,
Yeah.
but the Great Depression impacted each one of them differently.
Yeah.
If you had your home paid off, had assets and cash outside the banks, and worked for the government, you didn't suffer as much. If you were a young man starting a family and got into debt to buy your first fridge and car before the crash and lost your job, and there was no welfare to help you out, you could
you were hosed. Yeah,
starve.
pretty much, yep.
If you're a boomer today and you don't have a house and money saved for retirement, that's your fault. Because in the mid to late 80s and 90s, you could work as a day laborer or cab driver and still afford a single family home.
Kind of. No, I mean, it wasn't. Well, at today's rates, yeah, it was a bargain, right? You could get a whole house for 20, 30 grand. But again, 20, 30 grand in 1985 was a lot of friggin' damn money. Especially for me, I was making minimum wage.
Outside of inflation in the
But I was a star on the radio.
70s and early 1980s, boomers had it pretty easy for almost 30 years of their lives. Jesse Lee thinks that his version of reality when he was 37 years old back in 1983 is the same reality young people find themselves in today.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, that's the strange part. You know, maybe it's the saying you can't teach an old dog new tricks, perhaps. But I mean, Jesse Lee's, he's all right. You know, I don't dislike the man. But, you know, again, his advice is dated. This is not 1983, right? 1983, Duran Duran was on the radio. I mean, imagine how long ago that was, right? That's almost 40 years ago.
Back then, interest rates were 15 to 20%.
No, they were. Yeah. Right before Ronald Reagan became president, credit card interest rates and home interest, it was unfreaking believable. By the way, if you guys weren't there, it was 17, 18%. It was unbelievable. And that was part of the stagflation bullshit that Jimmy Carter was in charge of in the late 70s. Then Reagan came in, made some changes, and changed. I think he dropped the income tax rate to roughly where it is today, and the economy took off. And of course, Star Wars and the Russians and okay.
As opposed to 1 to 2% today.
Yes.
So you had to manage your money as well as your women back then a whole lot differently. Much like many of the men's rights activists that I met, he doesn't actually make an effort to try and understand younger guys.
The interest rates, by the way, were high enough that you always got 5% interest on your savings account. Do you believe that? 5%? That's pretty good. What is it now? 0.1%? It's unbelievable.
He just shames them for
What do you mean? You have a savings account, you boomer?
not living the way that he wants them to based on his own value
I got to think about that.
system. Unfortunately, a lot of guys are falling for it in traditionalism in a world that's anything but. I'll discuss more in just a moment.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. You know, these older guys, don't take my advice. I'm not out there on the street. You know, you guys are out there dating. I can only tell you what I can observe. I'm not there, you know. There's probably a lot of wonderful women, you know, out whapping around. Who knows?
But let me first tell everyone about today's sponsor, the MGTOW Book Collection Part 2.
Get a mop and
Whether you're getting camel toe in Cambodia, banging babes in burqas in Turkey, or taking Polaroids of ladyboys in Thailand, Luca Vendetti has a series of books to make you live the dream. His new 3-booklet series includes How to Live on $500 a Month in Cambodia, Turkey, and Vietnam. In addition,
yeah, okay. Well, if that's your thing, go. You know, I'm sure it's a wonderful place, good people, and everything. 1974 was, you know, I remember 1974. I was 10 years old, by the way. Duran Duran was 1983 was their first big surge onto the record. It was spring of 1983. Duran Duran had Hungry Like the Wolf was like the hugest friggin' song ever. It was on the radio almost constantly. They were a good band. The bass player was really, man, he was sick, as you young kids say. Boy, he could really, really play that bass guitar. It was pretty amazing. So yeah, Duran Duran, let's see what else. 58 going 59. Yeah, well, we're all getting older. Or, you know, we're pushing daisies up, one or the other. So SCE says, don't do song references. Oh, come on now. Can't we just do a little Duran Duran? Guns N' Roses, 1987. Come on, it was fun. The hairiest of the hairbands, except they were actually more than a hairband.
to his classic, How to Retire on 200K.
But I hated November Rain. I'm sorry, guys. Ew. That came out in 1991.
in Southeast
Or
Asia.
two. One of
He
those.
also has the MGTOW book.
Didn't like it. Didn't like it.
Visit MGTOW Books.
Mainly because it was like 7.5 minutes long. And so you had to listen to, I'm on the radio, so I had to listen to the freaking whole thing. Ugh. It's too much. Go.
.com and use the promo code Sandman to get 10% off. Now available in 4 formats: PDF, Mobi for Kindle, EPUB, and text-to-speech MP3.
Oh, okay.
Sponsor link is down below.
Oh, goody.
Anyways, now back to the 70-year-old man
He's Canadian, isn't he? He's Montreal or Toronto.
giving 30-year-old men dating and marriage advice Clown World show. I thought that Jesse Lee Peterson was only in his 50s based on his energy and appearance. I never thought he was 72 years of age.
I kind of figured he was a little older.
He continues by telling Joseph, the 37-year-old guy that called in, that the Catholic Church, what it's teaching him is wrong, and that real men become stronger through tougher times. According to him, you have to deal with bad women to become a stronger man.
Okay.
He's telling men to deal with women, even if women call the cops on them.
What are women do to improve? Why even ask the question? Now, where the hell are you, MGTOW Cowboy? Are you in this?
I guess he'll be stronger in the slammer. Joseph tells him that he got a false accusation of domestic violence thrown at him from his stepmother, and this put him off of all women. Joseph also says that MGTOW men want to wait out there for better times. But that's not what a fully self-actualized man going his own way is willing to do. He's checked out of the possibility of being on the plantation a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, the thing with Sandman, he has this, he does that on purpose, because I've heard him on like live streams and stuff. He doesn't talk like that. So he's doing this on purpose. Like, I'm a radio guy, so I got to give you this voice. No, I am Joseph. Oh, you're Joseph. No shit. Wow. Oh, kidding. Wow. Well, cool. Yeah, let's listen to your story then. I didn't know that was you. Men's rights, MRA died 15 to 20 years ago. Really? Snot rag. F this video. Play Reflex. That's a good song. Reflex. Oh, it's a great bass line, that one. It's really good.
And instead, that's something
Underappreciated band. They're mostly known for that wedding song. Remember that? Whatever the.
thing that an MRA would
Another
do.
one I freaking hated. I had to play that all. What was that song called? The wedding song?
Or men's rights activist. And that's why at first I wasn't 100% sure of that Joseph the caller is actually a MGTOW.
So you got in with Jesse Lee Peterson. That's interesting. He has a call-in show? Well, here, why don't you just friggin' come on and talk? I mean, Jesus. Hold on. Let me put the link in. There we go. Copy. Go ahead. Jump in. Anyone can jump in. It's a free-for-all. Paul Elam is still very active. Yeah, I'm not sure what the comment there was. MRA died 15 to 20 years ago? Huh. Well, why would you say that? JR says the Crew and Van Halen. Chris Mitchell, Smoke on the Water. I hated that song too. It just goes on and on and on. Hamster, that's not Lake Minnetonka. Yeah. I wish Hamster liked country music. Dude, I played country music most of my career. So I know all about it. Except the mid-90s. Mid-90s, I think country sucked. They tried to be too bleh. And then you got the bro country coming in. But there were highlights, especially in the early 90s. Really good stuff. Riggs Jr. Ooh, that smell. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I like playing that one. That's fun.
There's a slim possibility that he's a plant there to allow Jesse Lee to bash MGTOW. In my opinion, it sounds to me like Peterson probably wouldn't be able to live a month without women giving him validation. Watch some of his earlier videos where he's talking to attractive women and look at the changes in his body language and how his eyes light up when they're around him.
Well, I mean, he's an old guy. You know, again, different school, right? 70-something. That's, he could he be my father? No. He could be my older brother, I suppose.
Jesse also says the men need to,
if I had one,
to change the laws, which proves to me that his value system is that of a men's rights activist. As for bashing MGTOW, saying we're a group of weak men that have given up and that men are supposed to endure and be strong, he sounds like he doesn't even understand MGTOW.
That's silly. Oh, you need to be strong and you need to get them women. Well, what if I don't want one? What if I've made that decision in my life? I'm just not interested. What can I do that, Jesse? Would that be all right with you?
And appears to be shaming us to get married.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing the bidding of gold-digging slurs while telling everyone he's doing God's work. God sure is a lucky gal to have someone like him working for her. The apostles weren't married and they followed Christ. So why did today's men have to get either? Silver, about 2/3 of the way through this video, Peterson calls Joseph a beta man.
He's doing the bidding of the gold-digging slurs.
And tells him that he shouldn't get married because a woman will walk all over him and destroy his children. But at the same time, he's calling him a loser for going his own way. Doesn't that sound like a contradiction? He gives Joseph the advice of getting...
Heard it through the grapevine, yeah. Yeah, country, I played when it was like Garth Brooks and, some of the new wave country guys that came in the late 80s and early 90s. So that was pretty good. But yeah, this stuff, the bro rap country crap, I mean, some of it's all right, but it just gets, it seemed like everybody's throwing, funky beats in there just for the hell of it. Got to rap a little bit, right? Neil Young, Love is a Battlefield. Yep. Pat Benatar, 1983 also, by the way. One Fast Act, CCR. They only had one song, and they just changed the words. It's not that far off.
Getting into his mother's mindset that's inside of himself. He says that when he's ready...
But I suppose he could say that about even the Rolling Stones.
God will give him a wife. How do you argue with a man that's so sure in his Christian faith that there's no way you can convince him that the best way to win the relationship and marriage game is not to play in the first place?
There you go.
I kept hearing the same thing over and over again about how men aren't supposed to give up, and it sounds to me like Jesse Lee is more interested in convincing himself of his own belief system and philosophy instead of helping his caller.
Okay, I'll give Peterson this. He's probably coming from the standpoint, and I think a lot of sort of conservative, maybe type folks that, well, you need to put up with the women because you have to have a healthy family and the children, and the society depends on the family. Yeah. I get it. No, I understand that aspect of it. But I mean, what are you getting today with these modern whammons? You get WAPs, you get a used punyata, you get a hoochie coochie comes with it every month. Ugh.
Joseph is a 37-year-old guy that has to deal with the shame of failure and humiliation and embarrassment from society because he doesn't have a wife and kids.
Mm.
But to him, it still makes sense staying single instead of how much a woman can ruin his life.
Mhm.
Besides the shame he's getting from society, he's also being shamed by Jesse Lee for being a beta male. And it makes it even harder to stay positive.
MGTOW Cowboy's a beta male? I don't think so.
Joseph also says that educated women have big egos that grow out of control and they become evil. And Peterson appears to take on his attitude that a Christian man is not afraid of rational arguments.
Hey, MGTOW Cowboy, is this actually available online? Maybe we can go there and hamster Dwight Yoakam. Hell yeah! Oh, absolutely. Oh, he was. Oh yeah, yeah. Dwight Yoakam was rock and roll, baby. Yeah, he was really good. Yeah, what was that? Bakersfield, Streets of Bakersfield with what's his face? Buck Owens or somebody. Sweet Dreams Are Made of These. I really got sick of that song, Riggs. Really got tired of that. No. Fly Like an Eaglet. Yes, Steve Miller Band. Yep. I remember. It's just you listen and play those songs a million times. It's just long, tall woman in a black dress. Oh, cool women, yeah. John Denver. I like John Denver. Yeah, his stuff is pretty timeless. He really did a lot of music and accidentally killed himself in a plane crash. Rocky Mountain High is a good song. He was born in the summer of his 27th year. Yeah, I know all these songs. Well, I don't know all of them, but I know. Yeah, I know she was a ginger, but Annie Lennox. Skip the rest of the video. Can you play a Yoakam? No, I can't because it get copyrighted. So,
like women having power in society,
I like Fast
to
as You
destroy
is
their
good.
lives. Silver, I could barely get through this video, but I'm glad I did because Joseph shared the story about how his father lost millions of dollars to his mother,
Mhm.
and then he got remarried to a card-carrying feminist,
Oh, God.
and that ended for him poorly as well. The feminist ended up cheating on his father. All Peterson can say at that point is, "What did your father do to you?" Meaning
why did he make that woman cheat on him?
that he's blaming Joseph's father instead of the
God.
bad women that he chose to marry. He can't rationalize with
course.
Jesse because he's a white knight for women. That's like someone telling me they went their own way because their mother was awful to their father. And then I asked them, what did your father do to deserve the abuse he got from your mother? Was he not Christian enough for the Christ?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, well, what did he do to make her act like that? Maybe nothing. Maybe she was just a can't understand normal thinker type woman.
Plump. Joseph continues by telling Peterson that he's considering having a child through surrogacy. He doesn't explain why, but we all know why. Men like certainty and that our own children won't be taken away at the drop of a hat.
Bingo. Can you even do that? I mean, can you hire someone to carry your child? I'm sure you can. I mean, is that legal in this country? I don't know.
Jesse Lee just calls him a sad, poor excuse of a man that's taking a coward's way out.
I thought there was a controversy a few years ago about that you could rent a womb, so to speak,
by using surrogacy to have a kid. I called MGTOW's cowards for not dating back in 2015 when I was dating and there was a backlash against me. So I first thought that Jesse Lee might have been married and has love goggles on. But looking him up on Wikipedia, I found out that he's been engaged twice, but he never married. So he's going his own way all this time. Yet he's shaming other guys that are also going their own way. No wonder this guy has the time to put out 2 or 3 YouTube videos out every single day because he doesn't have a wife to answer to. I guess he's not ready for a wife either because God hasn't given him one yet, even though he's a self-described alpha male, and he's ready for one apparently. Jesse Lee says that a man doesn't know what he wants in life, so he can't plan your life because God has a plan for you instead.
Like the predetermination or predestiny or whatever. I don't know about that.
Joseph says that he appreciates his...
It seemed to me that if God exists in heaven, wherever, he's probably just laughing. He's going, "What? I give you all of these wonderful things, your brains, and you're screwing it up this bad, really?"
opinion and seems to be okay agreeing to disagree. Peterson continues by making fun of MGTOW, which he technically is himself, by saying it's a club of men shaking each other's hands and feeling good about being losers.
You loser.
That's something a men's rights activist might say.
I mean, really? Yes.
As far as I'm concerned,
I mean, why is it that women are lauded for not getting married to that evil, oppressive man, but when men decide not to, they're evil and incels and
MGTOW makes you stronger because you have to overcome the shame that comes from.
I mean, why is that? I mean, that's a really good point there, Hamster. Why is that? Why are women lauded when they go out and play the field and they're single and they're whapping? And men who say, you know what, I just don't really want to. Hey, you're a loser. You're an incel. You're this.
Society and guys like Jesse Lee Peterson.
Double standards. Anyway.
Seeing you as a failure and an embarrassment.
Uh-huh.
You get tougher emotional skin because you don't care what other people say about you, and you can live without female validation and still maintain a stable emotional state of mind while doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Lee Peterson is a far-right guy that believes in traditionalism on the surface.
Yeah, I mean, that's would be my defense, is that he's probably, very Christian, very dedicated to, God and what have you, and the traditional sort of family unit, right? Man, woman, kids, and all that stuff. The problem is, it seems many, not all, but many women are refusing to be traditional. So how do you square that circle, boys? You want to be a traditional father and husband, have kids, and the women's don't. What are you going to do with that?
But he's not married and has a child outside of wedlock. And when he's talking to Joseph, he's using guilt and shame like many of the Christians, myself included, would have used back in the day.
Yeah. Well, Jesus said,
trying to bring in converts.
Yeah, church is really a female thing.
You take someone that's in an emotionally vulnerable state and then you shame them until they start doing what you say as a form of repentance. MGTOW done right is not men giving up on life. It's men choosing a life that makes more sense for themselves.
Exactly. It's just that simple. I don't know why this is a controversial topic at all, except they're trying to make it into one fast act. Iron Maiden. Yeah, Snot Rag, U2, really good band. He seems like a decent fella. He's more of a lefty, but he's not quite as crazy woke. Bono, I mean, good band. Yeah, I mean, really, really good. But I played, still haven't found what I'm looking for, about 700,000 times too many. So it just got it's almost like chalkboard ears, that kind of. That's a good album, though. Joshua Tree was a good album. And then they had Mysterious Ways, which was also a really good song. That was in 92. And then they had kind of a middle album there, which was kind of shit. Can't remember what it was called. But then they're all right, though. Good band, And Bono's a good singer, I remember when they first came out with, was it New Year's Day? Somewhere in the early 80s. Yeah. All my exes live in Texas. Yeah, MGTOW Cowboy. Heart is one hell of Nancy Wilson. She can play that guitar. Holy God. If you listen to her playing solo and oh, geez. Yeah. Amazing. And then Ann, what a beautiful voice. Just, yeah. Great band. And they were rocking and rolling when, there weren't a lot of women in that scene. Back in the 70s, they came with Magic Man, I think was their first hit. Yeah, 1975.
Jesse has done that for himself, but he appears to be shaming men that try and do it for themselves too.
Maybe 76. Somewhere.
I thought about calling this video Jesse Lee Peterson is a MGTOW. There's a good chance he's probably single, living alone without a wife or girlfriend, and yet he's still attacking us. We should be shaming him for walking away from two women he promised to marry, but then backed out. We should call him a coward for not getting married.
Yep. Apparently it doesn't work that way, though. So here's that CNN video. And we're going to have to go in certain places here. because they're showing the Matrix movie, and that's likely a copyright. So we're not going to do that. So where are we going to start? So we get around the Matrix. Okay, maybe I'll turn the sound back there. All right.
Slow.
Now, I'm really interested in this video in particular because they use graphics that are so bizarre that it's like, what the hell were they thinking? There's a glass water-filled baby, like a child, a glass baby, and the child is there's blood gushing in the. You'll see it here. What the hell? It's really weird.
Mom?
Uh-oh.
Wow. And they'll
No
check
way.
them both for free.
Yes.
Bruh.
You want to
Yeah, okay.
take the red pill?
We'll turn it down a little bit. Maybe we'll get away with it. We'll see. Oh, there's no caption? Okay. Ads in 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So Tremfya. What the hell is that?
Plaque psoriasis, the burning, itching, the pain.
Blue pill or red pill?
Yes, this is from The Matrix. Warner Brothers, 1999, which I thought was interesting. 22 years ago already? Good Lord.
It's a question made famous in the 90s movie.
Is that loud enough? I think so. So anyway, this is basically the CNN hit piece. Blood gushing glass baby. Yeah, I mean, it's what the hell? Oh, Johnny Cash. Stop. Oh, yeah. Love Johnny Cash. You know, even when he was, back in the what was that one song he did? Hurt, the latest one that it kind of got big before he passed away. What a great song. That was 9 Inch Nails, I think.
Matrix, and it's never been more relevant. What does it mean to swallow the red pill?
You pretty much accept this quote unquote truth.
And this allegedly is a real red pill guy who got unred pilled. I call bullshit. It's likely an actor.
Point of view was that women are having too much power.
Mm-hmm. Women are having too much power. Well, in certain areas in society, most certainly. There's no lie in that.
Now the phrase has been co-opted by communities online.
Take a guess when the first picture of Hitler shows up. Anyone?
To swallow the red pill is to accept that everything you've been told about society, about gender, race, politics, is a lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has a lot more to do, not just women. There's a lot more to it.
You hear that term used in a lot of different communities on the far right.
On the far right. Did you hear that? On the far, look at that. Ooh, evil Donald Trump.
Lie.
You hear that term used in a lot of different communities on the far right.
See, this is trying to join words together to make you think they are the same. Red pill, far right, alt-right, Nazi, KKK. It's all in this video, people. This is the biggest pile of propaganda bullshit I think I've seen in a while. This was 4 years ago, by the way. Have you seen this one? I think I have. I just forgot about it. But bread and circuses indeed. Why is he? Well, they also say we've changed his appearance and his voice because he was right. Sure. It's because he doesn't. He's a friggin' actor. That's why. Thin Lizzy. Yeah, they only had a few, but because I think he passed away, didn't he? He drugs or something, I think. AC/DC. Yeah, man. Toke it up, bro.
And basically,
anyway, yeah, getting back to red pill and radical right.
Means being awakened to the truth of the way that reality really is.
I mean, there's nothing there that she said that is a lie. That's actually true. But she's snarking like, oh, well, the way things actually are. Yeah. That's exactly right.
It's actually men who are at a disadvantage, and they need to do whatever is in their control to put the women back in their place.
Women back in their place, right. So now we're getting off into the rabbit hole somewhere where there's men that say, take away the right to vote and make them get back in the kitchen. Come on. Really? Let's go to the fringe and assume that is the normal. God almighty. Oh, my God.
Becca Lewis is a researcher at Data and Society.
Uh-huh.
She's been studying these forums for years. Before taking the red pill became political, it was actually just about picking up women.
Yeah, there was the pickup artist stuff, right? It's part of red pill, but not the only thing.
You'll find people gravitating to communities like the pickup artist community.
Yeah, pickup artists, not all of them, but a lot of them are despised by men. You know why? Because they abuse and use women. They lie to them to get in their pants, and that's disgusting. I mean, if they're truthful and they say, look, I'm not in this for a relationship, I just want to bang. Okay, everybody agrees, but some of these guys pull all kinds of magic tricks, right? So-called. That's disgusting. Just be honest about it. Go up to the girl and say, hey, you want to, and she says, no, okay, go away. But don't try to promise her, oh, yeah, and put on this big show with your fake Lamborghini and all this bullshit. Anyway, go on.
Where young men can get advice on how to attract young women.
Yeah, I mean, geez, so horrible. I mean, the bunch of Nazis, young men looking to figure out ways to be more attractive to the women's. Oh, God, the terrorists are the Taliban of the manosphere.
They're really feeling lost and looking for advice or guidance or community.
Yeah, imagine that. Other men talking to each other about stuff. Ooh, God. What are we going to do about this problem?
I met up with a man who you could call an ex-red pillar.
No. No such thing. Once you take the red pill, you cannot untake it. Doesn't work that way.
He's out of the community now, but he asked us to keep his identity a secret.
Ominous music in the background. Ooh, he's in the shadows and they change his voice. Oh my God, the evil terrorists who are the red pills.
Let's call him.
I mean, what kind of bullshit? I mean, do you believe that? This is CNN. This was an actual news piece they put out. A hit piece, I should say. God almighty. Finish it. PUAs are just eating with the dinner. They don't focus on trying to wife them. Well, I'm not disagreeing. Like I said, if it's everybody agrees, it's just a bang, there's no relationship, no promises, hey, whatever. And excuse me, gentlemen, you would think by now the strong, powerful, Yugo girl, smart, I mean, they're so much better than men. They haven't been able to figure out the pickup artist stuff. Really? Just go online, look at the mystery and look at all this the crap that they do. They haven't figured this out yet. Okay. Yeah, smart. Oh yeah, Lisa Lang's Big John hit piece. He got whacked for YouTube after that, right? I used to watch Big John all the time. He was he was drinking the scotch and he was good. I liked him. Dak forgot to go for the weekly beer run. Oh no. Well, fortunately, I went and got the beer this morning. So I'm all set up if I want to have me a cool one.
Josh.
As soon as I started to continuously not do so well with women.
I mean, who speaks like this? Continuously not do so well with women. What?
Instead of thinking that it was me, I started to, in a way, blame them.
Blame those evil women. Yeah, that's where they are.
That's when I first entered the world of the pickup artists.
Again, there's a very, 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 very big difference between pickup artists and people who do RP stuff or men going their own way. Sure, it's sort of kind of related. But again, a man going his own way really doesn't want anything to do with the women. See, there's that part of it, right?
He found them in online communities
where's the Hitler picture?
Men talk strategy, how to seduce women. They're coined red pill forums.
Have you guys ever been to these forums? I thought all this stuff got taken down by now, right? This was 4 years ago. So, girl can only get horny for you. Jesus.
They were kind
oh my God.
Of speaking to a need that I
listen to the way they did the voice, right? And not only slowed it down, but they sped it up, and I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Felt was really not met at certain points in my life.
I mean, it's obviously because he's afraid. 4chan, see? Oh my God, yeah, 4chan. It's obvious this man, Joshua, is scared. He's in fear of all those evil terrorists that are RP people. Don't you know?
In these forums, hitting on women turns into a game. The premise: sex is ultimately about power and taking back control.
Oh, I mean, look at this. Who writes this kind of bullshit? Can you read that? I can't say it because of reasons, but what? Come on now.
which is a reactionary
Who writes that? Who writes shit like that?
movement to the feminist movement. That reaction is that
Oh my
there is
God.
a group of rebellious women who are just angry at men.
I'm sure if you look far enough somewhere on the 17 chans, there's probably a forum with women who are pissed at men. I'm sure you can find it somewhere on the internet. There's a lot of stuff on the internet. If you look somewhere, I'm sure you'll find it.
They do recognize that
Except you don't have to go too far. It's called the fembots.
women have rights, but only in as much as these are rights that men have given you.
Okay, let's just stop here and look at that set of words. These are rights that men have given you. There is nothing in there that is a lie. That is absolutely true. After all, 19th Amendment, women didn't have the right to vote. It had to be put into effect by men. This is not a lie. And as we've been told a million times by the fembot, oh, men are in positions of power in the government. And, okay, well, those same men in the positions of power also gave you a right to have an abortion, invented the birth control pill, Equal Pay Act 1963, Civil Rights Act, all of these things, mostly done by men. So that he's not lying.
It wasn't just about misogyny.
Oh, come
These
on.
forums became
Here we
political.
go. Look at that. Oh, you knew it was coming, didn't you? You knew it was coming, boys. There it is. There he is. Let's see. We've got pickup artists, right-wing, radical. At the beginning of the video, I didn't show you. They were doing the torch parade and all that other bullshit. It's like they're trying to meld these things together. In other words, this is propaganda. What the hell does a man going his own way have to do with that guy? Nothing. Except CNN tells you it's related somehow. That's not reality. That's propaganda. It's bullshit.
You can start to embody those more radical ideas.
Radical. Yes. Which ideas are radical? Well, to CNN, the radical idea is you're not as left as they are. If you disagree with the lefties, well, you must be some radical right-wing Nazi. I mean, it's ridiculous, but here it is. Here it is for you to see right there on the screen. JR is leaving, clocking out. Have a good night, sir. Good to see you. Come again. I see another round of insomnia now. Oh, sorry. I'm keeping you up, SE. My apologies.
Based on the
I mean, I can whisper to you. Maybe it'll put you to sleep.
initial idea that men are actually the ones that are being mistreated in society. So
How about instead of mistreated, why don't we say not being treated the same way as women with respect to reproductive rights, with respect to divorce court, child custody, alimony, all that stuff? Why don't we make it fair? Make it a balanced playing field? No. Since it's not, you could phrase it that men are being mistreated, or you could say men are not being treated equally under the law in several very important areas, such as your children, such as even becoming a father. You do not have a choice, right? The government forces you to become a father, whether you want to or not. Amazing.
So once you start from that,
So yeah, I would say, yeah, that's a bit, yeah.
that basis, it's really easy for it to snow.
Look at that evil Donald Trump. Oh my God.
Sprinkled in between posts on women.
I mean, who writes that? Did you read that? Who writes that crap?
are hateful
What kind of a forum is this? Oh my God.
comments on topics like race and religion.
And
At what point did
boom. Within 30 seconds, Hitler makes 2 appearances on this video.
Anti
I wonder if they're trying to say something here. You think? Are they trying to connect images with certain words that are being said, such as red pill? Maybe.
feminism rhetoric. At what point did this turn political for you?
Anti-feminism is what she said. Let me go back, because I kind of missed it.
Point did this anti-feminism rhetoric? At what point did this turn political for you?
Mm-hmm. Anti-feminism does not mean anti-female, dear Lori. Because feminism is not a movement about equality anymore. As a matter of fact, you could say it really never was. It was used by the communists. They used women. Now, not saying that some of what happened was wrong, rights and equal pay, that's great. But we're decades beyond any of that shit. And yet we have fembots in this country who believe that in the year 2021, it is worse than it's ever been for women in the West. What kind of delusion would you have to believe such nonsense? How delusional would you have to be? In other words, the movement hasn't been about equality for a very long time. It is a movement that is communist. Say it with me. Communist. It's Marxism in a skirt, as Karen Strawn, Girl Writes What, like to say. The movement now is to overturn the patriarchy. What is the patriarchy, Lori? Capitalism. You get it? Are you seeing it? Good.
I just, really felt powerless because I felt that my opinions, my feelings, especially as a man, did not matter.
They don't. Yep, that's right.
Especially when there are people, getting more money than me,
Getting more money. I don't even know what the hell.
getting more girls than me. And I'm just like, what can I do to catch up? And I was, to my eternal embarrassment, radicalized by the right wing politically.
Radicalized by the right wing. See, the assumption there obviously built in. The going in presumption, the right wing is radical. In what way? Trump? Is that what it is? Right wing radical. Radicalized by the right wing because the right wing obviously is radical. You see how they play these games, people? I know you guys don't fall for this bullshit, but people, there are sheep in this country. They look at this like, oh my God, yeah, it's terrible. Oh, look at this. Poor guy was radicalized by the right wing. Scratch the surface. What does that mean? That means the right wing is radical. That's the premise. Who is it radical to? The left.
Since I refuse to listen to
See, because you're not agreeing with them. Got it? Good.
anyone else's point of view, I immediately took theirs.
I don't quite understand this. Since I refuse to listen to anyone else's point, you think I immediately took others
Because I believed that it was the right one.
Mm-hmm. The radical right one.
But it's interesting that you said radicalized. Was that a gateway to the alt-right?
No. Oh, gentlemen, we have everything. We've got tiki torch parades. We've got Hitler. We've got Pepe the Frog. We got a man here with ominous music in the background. This guy is a freaking actor. Don't believe any of this bullshit. Radical. Now we're the alt-right. Does everybody get out their Pepe and their Keck flag? Come on.
To a degree. Actually, to a very large degree.
It was a gateway drug to the evil radical right wing.
Speak to these guys who believe that they're being, largely ignored.
Yes. Yeah, politicians don't give a shit about men. Maybe once every 4 years. That's it. That's it. It's all about the women. Why? Because women can be persuaded more easily than men. Now, I'm generalizing. Sorry. Look at any advertisement you see. Who are they trying to appeal to? Just wondering.
Kind of being pushed out of the spotlight as like, feminism has, kind of been on the rise for the past 50 years.
Mm-hmm. And again, let me make my point crystal clear. Being anti-feminist is not anti-female. The two have very little to do with each other. Anti-feminist means anti-communist. Say the C word. It's not anti-women. Feminization, suppression
it kind of
of men.
really speaks to fear. The alt-right and Gamergate.
The alt-right. Gamergate. Again, this was about the time of that. And a lot of the men's rights activists.
Like a lot of the men's rights activists.
Really, could you name anything here, just instead of just spewing bullshit? Could you bring up an example of what you're talking about? Of course not. Why would we want to do that?
They kind of not really calmed that fear, but in a way they kind of stoked that fire.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot to mention, there's Triple K members coming up
It
as well.
starts to tie in.
I mean, it's got everything. It's got something for everybody.
A more broad idea that men are under threat from modern society.
See, you think that's not true?
And they basically adopt the terminology of the left, saying that men are an oppressed group. They're being put down by systematic feminism, and we need societal changes to help men.
Mm-hmm. That's not going to happen, but yeah. What's wrong with that? Men should just take it. What do you mean, Hamster? You're not saying anything either, man. Marriage, divorce, family court, reproductive rights, AAA or AA, affirmative action for women in college, scholarships only for women in college when they make up 60% of the freaking population of college. What about the men? Is that enough? Or should I what? Sorry, I'm getting a little worked up. Well, it's me. It's
Black's
1:30.
right.
What time is it? Oh, it's 1:40.
So how does a guy like
I better shush. I do live in an apartment.
Josh end up joining the men's rights movement,
I don't know. Why would Josh do that?
becoming a part of these so-called red pill forums
Red pill form. Yeah.
when he was just looking for a girlfriend? I met up with Dr. Elias Abujadi, a psychiatrist who wrote a book called Virtually You, The Dangerous Powers of the E-Personality.
I mean, this guy is interesting. I'll just let it play. It's sort of outside the realm of the discussion, or I should say the propaganda from CNN here, but go ahead.
We don't go online to become more moderate. We go online to have our more extreme positions, our more extreme ideologies be confirmed and agreed upon. The more we do that, the more polarized we become as a society.
And increasingly, we're seeing some of that rhetoric play out offline.
See?
A neo-Nazi protest.
Oh my God. You knew it was coming, didn't you, boys? Tiki torch.
In Charlottesville.
You knew it was coming. You knew it. I told you. I gave you a preview. Now, why don't we just wrap the tiki torch, Hitler, and coming up the Triple K, radical right wing. See? Simple.
One leader, Christopher Cantwell, who gained notoriety in a Vice report.
I mean, who supported these guys with tiki torches in Charlottesville? No one. Except maybe the men that were there. I mean, it's like, what are you doing? Neo-Nazis.
Wrote a number of articles for a men's rights blog in 2014. We reached out to Cantwell via his website, but
He's not wrong on some things. I mean, I don't agree with the Nazi stuff, but I mean, what just flashed by there is not wrong.
One leader, Christopher Cantwell, who gained notoriety in a Vice report, wrote a number of articles for a men.
You can see the headline. Remember, this was around just right before the Medusa really hit big. But it was out, right? You do recall Donald Trump said that about grabbing her by the hoo-ha. Oh, God.
Men's rights blog in 2014.
And I'm sure Mr. Cantwell's words say something on the order of this. So, if everything you do to a female is considered SA, if you talk to her and you're not good looking enough, it's harassment. That's what he's talking about, probably.
We reached out to Cantwell via his website.
And it's true. It's true. Evidently in France, if you, talk to a woman and she doesn't find you attractive, you can get a, God almighty.
But haven't heard back. An incident at that Charlottesville protest resulted in many injured and one person dead.
Yeah, the poor woman got hit by the guy in the car. Yeah, it was terrible. Who agrees with that? Who thinks that was a good idea? No one. Zero. You get it? How many times did they ask Trump about this? How many times? And every time he says, no, it's bullshit. I know. I don't agree with what they're saying. Oh, so you're saying you didn't agree with that? Yes, I'm saying. Are you sure? Remember all that? There, especially, I think even this last campaign. Oh, what about the Charlottesville? You supported those Nazis, didn't you? He's like, no. What the hell are you talking about? I mean, it's just, the only reason they kept doing that is to associate Trump with Charlottesville. He disavowed any of these people. He said it a million freaking times. But every time he had the chance, they would ask him the same thing. Why? So you'd associate Donald Trump, Charlottesville, Nazi. I mean, it's not that hard, is it? It's propaganda. Brainwashing.
We have become offline the people that we are online, meaning these narcissistic traits, this impulsivity, this aggression that we manifest so easily and so automatically on social media and other online platforms. We are becoming these people offline.
I disagree with that. I don't think that's true. I mean, I used to be on Twitter, right? Yeah, there was some weird shit going on. There are people doing stuff. I mean, what else? What else is there? Twitter, fake book. I mean, I'm not in any of that shit. I'm just not interested.
Well, our world.
But I don't think people are taking the online world and becoming Nazis. I mean, come on.
The world has become a chat room.
In what sense?
There is something rewarding about acting disinhibited online because you feel like you're getting away with something that, in the moment can feel good. But the more it happens, the more it gets normalized. So you do it once, you're more likely to do it.
I mean, he's the doctor, right? So he probably knows what he's talking about, right? And, Mr. Forma, hello. Good to see you, sir. How's it going? Riggs is here also. Sir Killa Hayes is in the building. Hello, Sir Killa Hayes. What's up? All right, let's continue.
Twice.
Do you want to see the White Hood show come?
It's become so sort of normalized that it's easier for it to be transposed offline.
Red pill groups are scattered across the internet.
So now they're lumping it in with the Holocaust deniers. Got it.
But they were able to rally around a political mission in 2016.
Uh-oh, the evil Donald Trump.
So there are people that focus on men's rights. There are people that focus on, issues of white Americans. There are trolls who just want to trick people and elicit a response.
Yeah, that's 4chan, right? Exactly.
Trump was a way that they could all come together. And unite around a common goal.
The people know the truth.
What about Donald?
The people know the truth. You miss him, yeah.
Trump was unifying for people who have so-called swallowed the red pill.
Trump was unifying for people who swallowed the so-called red pill. In some sense, yes. Yeah, because he was sort of an outsider. No, he's not as much of an outsider as he portrayed himself. I mean, he was in big with the Clintons and all that crap, right? But he wasn't a swamp creature. I think most people can agree. And that was refreshing, to be honest with you. A businessman who did business stuff and did whatever and failed and was successful. He wasn't a swamp creature. That was appealing. Because who was it was Hillary? Was it Hillary? I think it was Hillary. And President Obama, he was a Illinois creature, swamp creature of Illinois, and then he eventually became a swamp creature in Washington. Just the way it works, right? You get in there long enough, and you just become one of them.
Well, I think they liked that he kind of barreled in, and they thought he was really going to mess up the establishment because.
Did you catch the Pepe?
I think they liked that he kind of barreled in, and they thought he was really going to mess up the
Nazi
establishment because.
Like I said, guys, this one has everything. Alex Jones is in there too. Who else? There's a Trump, Alex Jones, the freaking frogs, the freaking frogs. There's Milo, Rudy, the Trump, right there. Is that Pence? Another Trumper, and I don't know who that guy is, but he's screaming. Is that Ben Carson maybe, and Stone probably?
They're getting radicalized.
The deplorables. Look at all those frogs.
Trusting establishment media less and less.
Did you hear what she said? I'm sorry, I talked over it. Let's go.
As they're getting radicalized, they are trusting establishment media less and less.
So as these people become radicalized, they're trusting the mainstream media less and less. Really? You're doing a propaganda hit piece here, people. We're supposed to trust you. Is that right? I mean, can anyone not see that this is propaganda? My goodness.
They're trusting education less and less.
Trusting education less and less. That's because it's indoctrination at this point. And again, this was 4 years ago. Really. Almost a lifetime away from, oh God. Another ad.
They really liked that he represented this anti-establishment.
That's right. Yes. Because we're tired of freaking swamp creatures.
Carl lost his gig as a hand model during a bizarre hitchhiking incident.
It's over.
But with America,
We reached out to the White House and they declined to comment for the story.
Remember, October 30th, 2017. So this was the first year of, Trump.
He is essentially the alt-right president.
He's the alt-right president, people. Did you know that? Did you?
He's the president belonging to that reactionary movement.
Mm-hmm. Reactionary movement to bullshit. Yes. Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm.
A movement that was reactionary to, all the quote-unquote horrible things that Obama's done. And now you've got someone...
Well, looking back, through the time, Obama did a couple of things that were really bad, I think. One was the Title IX Dear Colleague. But, overall, could have been worse. He wasn't that bad.
And who was sympathetic instead of condemning to that cause.
But that movement...
No, this is the graphic that just blows my friggin' mind. What the hell is this? This is like a glass baby filled with water, and then there's blood that gushes up.
Sympathetic instead of condemning to that cause.
But that movement...
What the hell do you think this is, guys? I'm really confused. What is the purpose? What is the meaning of that particular graphic? The head with the blood. I don't know, man. Trial of True Men. Damn, this video is textbook for yeah. In shark dentures. How can anyone not see CNN as a propaganda arm of the DNC? Obviously. Yeah. The SE now. Come on. So what is the deal with this? The bloody baby head.
No longer includes Josh. He metaphorically spit out the red pill.
No, he never took it in the first place. He's an actor.
I started realizing that they weren't just limiting their vitriol just to women.
Really? Vitriolic to women. Really? Now one has to really define that. What does that mean? Is it vitriolic to criticize the way some young women act these days with their waps all over everything? Is that vitriolic? Is that female hatred to criticize that? Of course it is. Of course it is.
As
In their minds, it is.
soon as they started targeting, like, people of color and doing so rather, rather harshly and egregiously.
Excuse me. Attacking people of color? What the hell does that even mean? I have no idea. I don't know what the hell branch of they're talking to here. I don't even know what they're talking about. Attacking people of color? What?
There was this very small voice in the back of my head saying, "Hey, idiot, wake up, they're talking about you."
Remember, kids, this was long before a couple of summers ago.
It's interesting you say, hey, they're talking about you.
Right.
I don't think our viewers know you're an African-American man.
Yes, and proudly so.
Well, good for you. And so somebody apparently posted a picture of some people rioting, and that's what. Oh my God.
So how did that play out in these forums?
There were a lot of other websites that would blame not only women, but blaming black men like myself.
For what? What do these websites blame women and black men for? Could you give us an example? Could you give us something concrete? Some egregious thing that you could flash up on the screen? No.
Was there ever a point where
Why would we want to do that?
you heard some of this rhetoric and you believed it about yourself?
Mm-hmm. Spell it with me. Anecdote.
I did, actually, to my, again, eternal shame, to my embarrassment. And I was just like, okay, maybe to a degree they're right.
It sounds like
Right about what? What were they saying?
at your low point as a black man, you were sympathetic to people being racist and saying things about you and your skin color.
What things were they saying? On some forum that girls, like BBC? Okay. What? That's not racist. It's just they dig a little, chocolate. So what? That's not racism. What the hell are you talking about? And why? You've been flashing all kinds of bullshit on your screen the whole time. Why don't you show us some of these comments that were racist? We'd like to see those.
I was.
And anonymity
Mr. Foreman, you believe this crap? What is this shit?
bred extremism.
It's certainly made things a lot easier, having to, drive back into, the backwoods and
I told you, boys. I told you. It was coming.
Hold campfires and say that, we're the superior race, blah, 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 blah.
So let's see. So we got Red Pill. We've got pickup artists. We've got MRAs. We've got Nazis. We've got Charlottesville, Donald Trump, radical right wing. And now we have the Triple K. Aha.
It's just made it where people can actually still retain that anonymity without having to put on a white hood.
Going down the rabbit hole, spending a lot of time in these forums. What was the most surprising thing you took out of your research?
Listen carefully, gentlemen.
The empathy that I ended up feeling for the men at the very beginning of getting red pilled, because they
Yeah. Imagine that. Maybe they have a point. And maybe you're just highlighting maybe some of the radical fringes. I don't know what the hell you're even doing here, Lori. Jesus.
are frustrated, they're often lonely, they're scared, and they're trying to find their way in the world as well. But these movements are taking them in a fundamentally dangerous direction.
Really? Let's see. Toward being a Nazi, toward being a radical right-winger, and wearing a white hood, and carrying tiki torches. Let's see. Oh, my God.
It's such a fascinating thing to say that you felt empathy for these people, because I think it's so easy even as women, right? To kind of shake your head and think, really?
They start
Yeah, she's not biased at all or anything. No, really? These men have problems. My women's studies professor told me they are all privileged. Look at all those white men at the top of the Fortune 500.
interacting with other people in this community, and if these people have already given them advice that they trust on dating and on women,
Then we're going to become Nazis. Gotcha.
then they're going to be more willing to listen to them on issues of race and sexuality.
As we dig into our own realities,
I suppose they're talking white nationalists, probably.
perhaps the most
All what? 3,000 of them in the entire country? Right.
fascinating
Big
way
threat.
to look in the mirror is by sitting across from someone
What's the latest KKK membership? 1,000 in the entire country, by the way.
on the other side.
I guess part of me sitting across someone who spent so many years angry at women, just because I want to do great in my career, I want to do these great things, it doesn't mean that.
Why are red pill men angry at women? How do you define anger? They push back, ask questions. Why are women acting the way they do? Some women. No. Why? Is that being angry? We're just supposed to take it. Whatever we're dished out, men are just supposed to suck it up, right?
You don't have to have that for you.
I don't dislike women. It's just, what the hell?
I understand that now. But the problem is that
these guys believe
the propaganda that if women take over, men are going to be slaves.
Speaking of propaganda,
that's not it. I've learned that.
Okay, let's just take his comment at face value. If women were to take over, men would become slaves. That's just not it. How do you know that, sir? Because women haven't taken over yet. Just saying.
How are you doing now? You okay?
Okay. Are you okay? Are you no longer a Nazi? Oh my God, it's so great.
Well, I've still got a long way to go.
Jesus.
There's still
I mean, come on.
a lot more of deprogramming, I guess you could say.
You mean reprogramming, re-indoctrination, sir.
We used to
Can we get the baby head one more
program
time?
the internet. Now the question, is it programming us?
Remember.
Oh my God. I know it was long, but I think it was worth it. Here is the link. Go listen to it for yourself. Well, that was a feast, huh? All kinds of shit. Circular haze. Yeah, when they get married. You're absolutely correct. Mr. Forma, I can make video with my female friends and debunk. Well, exactly. I mean, it's such bullshit. It's nonsense. The whole thing was propaganda. There's nothing in there that's of any value except they're trying to connect things that don't necessarily fit together. Like, if you take the red pill and you're red pill aware, obviously you're going to be led down the path to be a Nazi and a member of the KKK and have a white hood. What the hell? What kind of shit is this? Now, is Hamster saying that doesn't happen? No, I'm sure it does. I'm sure in some corner of the internet, all of these things are in one package and there they are. Okay, great. I'm sure in another corner of the internet, there's a lot of other weird shit. It's the internet. Oh, God. Anyway, almost 2 hours, huh? Damn. And I haven't even had a beer. I might just do that. Okay. So don't forget, Undead Chronic 14, go buy a t-shirt. He friggin' hates me when I say that. The Showmaster, Undead Chronic. You guys have a great evening, and we'll talk very soon. Take care. Bye.